My babies have arrived. Salutations! Welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee, and today I am doing my book outlet unboxing. If you did not know from my Instagram post, which is actually now my most liked Instagram post of all time, right here, I recently received my Boxing Day book outlet order. I have always heard of book outlet. I've had so many books in my cart for such a long time, but I never actually made the plunge to ordering from book outlet. When the Boxing Day sale came on, I got such a good price with 25 books for $83. 25 books, 14 hardcovers, 11 paperbacks, which probably retail to a lot of money. This is actually my second time filming this because my first unboxing, which was an actual unboxing, was really low energy and I didn't feel it was the best quality of content, so now I'm refilming it. Now I'll insert a clip of me doing the actual unboxing. I've literally been bothering my family since the 2nd of January, and today is the 6th. Every single day going,
is the mail here yet? Is the mail here yet? Is the mail here yet? Is the mail here yet?
I'm obviously going to fast forward me opening this because it's going to take me forever since I don't have the unboxing powers. Wait, maybe I do. I have the unboxing powers. Here we go! Book outlet box! Let's dive into this. I'm so the magical brown book outlet paper! I'm not going in any particular order, and I'm going to try to keep this under 20 minutes, so these are going to be pretty short synopsises. The first 4 books I purchased were City of Heavenly Fire, City of Lost Souls, City of Fallen Angels, and Clockwork Princess, all by the lovely Cassandra Clare. I'm lifting weights very shakily with one arm. If you do not already know this, I read and loved The Infernal Devices. I'm also collecting all of Cassandra Clare's books in hardcover because they're just so darn pretty in hardcover versus the paperback. I just ordered all the hardcover book outlet ones online. Quick synopsis, whatever the plural of synopsis is. Clockwork Princess is the 3rd book in the Infernal Devices trilogy, which is the spin-off of the Mortal Instruments. You don't need to read one to read the other, but it's really good as a supplement. Clockwork Princess is everyone's favorite book in the entire trilogy, so I would highly recommend it, of course, after reading the first 2. I have not read these 3, obviously, since I haven't even read City of Bones yet. It's my #1 book that did not come out in 2015 that I want to read, and I want to marathon the whole series, so now I've got some of them. The next book is one that I tried reading, I DNF'd around August, but I want to pick it up again and try. There was so much hype in August when the 5th book and the finale of the series was released, and I got the really, really pretty bind-up edition. And that is Luck's Beginnings by Jennifer L. Armentrout. People basically call it the Twilight with aliens, and it is about a book blogger named Katie who moves to a new town and she meets this guy named Damien. He happens to be an alien. It's about their love. He's super sassy and arrogant, and she's really nice. Was a wrong time, wrong place kind of thing, but what I did read was pretty good. I liked them together already. And they weren't even together when I got to the part that I didn't have to do last year. The next book is one that basically everyone under the sun who likes high fantasy has read, except for me. I've had all my bookish friends talk about it. There's so much hype for the sequel that's coming out in March of 2015, and that is The Winter's Curse by Mary Rutkotsky, supposedly. This was on my birthday/holiday wish list, but now I have it and I'm so happy about it. I've actually bought this in the library several times and never actually gotten to it. Thought, why not just buy it? I promised myself that I will read this before the sequel comes out. Maybe even I'll be bad and I'll read it in March, but then I can marathon the 2 books and that'll be great. This is about a teenage aristocrat's daughter named Kestrel, and she goes to the market and buys a slave named Aaron. There's a lot of political intrigue and romance that ensues, and everyone talks about the heavy focus on politics. And I first fell in love with politics, at least the focus of it, and YA novels when I read Legend by Marie Lu, favorite dystopian of all time. So I thought this was a perfect read to pick up. Plus, everyone's talking about it. The cover is so gorgeous, you would basically buy it just for the cover by itself. The next 2 books are ones that I actually read and made my top 14 of 2014, a video which is probably already live, and they are This Song Will Save Your Life by Leila Sales and The Truth About Alice by Jennifer Matthew. They're unrelated except for genre, but I want to show them at the same time for some reason. This one is about a girl named Elise Dombowski, aka my book BFF. She is kind of depressed, she doesn't fit in school, she finds this underground nightclub and she learns how to DJ, and she finds herself through music. She's a really big expert, and this is just the perfect outlet for her crappiness that goes on during the day. The Truth About Alice is a book told in 5 points of view, 4 of which are not actually Alice. They revolve in this very short length about the story of what happened this one night when supposedly Alice slept with 2 guys one after another at a party, and we actually learned the truth about Alice. The next 5 books I got are solely off of hype and their publishing companies. I follow all of these authors on Twitter, I love their personalities, and I thought, why the hell not just buy their books? Because I've been wanting to read them, and they're in paperback, they were just like $2 each, and it seemed like the perfect fit. They are Defiance by C.J. Redwine, Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne, Pulse by Patricia Carmack, Everneath by Brodie Ashton, and Unremembered by Jessica Brodie. Defiance is a dystopian novel set in a more high fantasy setting about a girl who's trying to find her father who's gone missing. She meets a boy, they probably fall in love. I'm guessing there's intrigue and a corrupt government, and this sounds like my type of book. Monument 14 is a post-apocalyptic novel following 6 people, I believe 4 teenagers and 2 younger kids who are just trying to cope and survive in their new world. Well, their old world that's now gone bad. Pulse by Patricia Carmack is one that I've seen a lot around, but never really wanted to pick it up until I saw Benjamin of Tomes rave on and on about it. It's about these kids with telekinetic powers called the Pulse, and a girl who discovers she has it. What I'm picking up from the synopsis is that Everneath is a kind of Hades Persephone dynamic, and she has 6 months to go above world. I'm guessing she probably falls in love with someone who's not the Hades-like character in my imagination. Of course, Hades won't like that. Unremembered is actually a memory loss book, and if there's one thing that I hate in all types of literature, it is memory loss. But for some reason I thought I want to pick this up because apparently there is a scientific group who she thinks has wiped her memory, and there's another guy who thinks he knows the truth. It seems kind of like the dynamic in The Body Electric by Beth Revis, which I just read and loved, so I'm thinking this would be a good read. The next book is one that came out in June 2014 and was really hyped up around at the time. The type of book I don't normally read. It's still contemporary, but it's the particular niche of contemporary that I usually stay away from. But you know, testing your limits, it was really cheap, why not get it? And that is #Scandal by Sarah Auckler. It's about a girl whose name is Lucy who has to go with her best friend's boyfriend to prom. They end up kissing in the parking lot. Scandal. Lucy's Facebook page is hacked, and a lot of other photos, not just of her and him, but of other people that are kind of embarrassing, hit her profile, and everyone blames her. A sort of mystery to see who did this, because it was a horrible thing to do. The next 2 books are Lirabelle and Abortion, which are part of the Old Kingdoms trilogy, which is actually a series now because Clariel came out in August of 2014. This is known as the grandfather of high fantasy with kick-ass heroines. I'm really excited to see what it was like in the 90s because not many YA novels were written back then, especially empowering girls. Plus there are charter marks, which FYI just looks so cool. And next up we have 2 books, part of a trilogy. I'm planning on collecting the paperbacks because I had the 3rd book in my cart, but of course someone stole it right under my nose. Thank you so much, BookOutlet. It was so crazy that night. Partials and Fragments, both by Dan Wells, which is part of the Partials trilogy. This is set in a dystopian universe where the government is forcing everyone to have children, but within a few hours of the child's birth, they all die, and we don't know why. There's also this other plot line going where there's these genetically made humans called partials, and they live on the mainland. Somehow they intertwine with the dying children's fates. I've already read Partials, but I really want to reread it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars the first time. It seemed a bit thick, not that much compared to what I read nowadays, but back then it was. The next book I have here is the #1 book that was released in 2014 that I wish I'd gotten to. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I read my first Morgan Matson book this November. I freaking loved it. It was so good. It was so heartwarming and light and funny, but at the same time really deep and an adventure of self-discovery. Everyone says Since You've Been Gone is the best. It's about a girl named Emily whose best friend Sloane disappears for the summer, leaving behind for her 13 things to do, kind of in a bucket list sort of fashion. She has very unconventional ways to go about these tasks. Plus, the inside cover is absolutely gorgeous. Sloan and Emily here. The next book I have is actually also by Morgan Matson, but under her pen name. If anyone wants to tell me in the comments below why she has another name to write a book that she could totally write under Morgan Matson, please tell me. But that is Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend by Katie Finn, aka Morgan Matson, but she does not have an author picture. Shocker. I actually don't know what this is about. I'm guessing it's a light, fluffy, cute contemporary. When she sends these letters, it gives her closure, and she just moves on with her life. Suddenly, all these boys are receiving these letters, and I'm so excited to see what ensues because of it, the awkward relationships and conversations, and maybe even rekindled love. I've heard the first 50% or so is kind of hard to get into, so I have to be in a patient mood when I want to read this, but I know I have to read a Jenny Han book. The next book I have here is one that I knew about when I wasn't even really into YA literature, and I started reading it, but I DNF'd it because it really isn't a gateway YA lit novel in my opinion, especially because of the topic matter, since I want to maybe go into a career in this area, and that is Little Brother by Cory Doctorow. It's about a genius hacker named Marcus with his team find themselves in the aftermath of a major terrorist attack in San Francisco, and they are hired by Homeland Security to find out who did it. I may want to go into coding when I grow up. Even reading about it in a action-packed young adult literature novel might entice me more. The next book I have here is one that is on Epic Reads list of high fantasy novels you have to read. Emma, my best friend, read it. She said it was really scary, so don't read it in the dark, but I haven't read a good horrifying novel in a long time. The Sea of Shadows by Kelly Armstrong. I also haven't read a Kelly Armstrong book either, which is pretty strange because she was one of the front-runner paranormal young adult literature authors. I know next to nothing about this. I'm just going to read you the publisher's summary. Twin sisters Ashton and Moria must embark on a dangerous journey when the spirits they are charged with protecting turn vengeful. That sounds intriguing. The last book I have here to show you is Lexicon by Max Berry. I first heard about this book from Reagan of the Peruse Project. It seems like a young adult novel because it has protagonists who are teenagers, but it has the price of an adult book, so I'm not so sure. It's about these kids who go to a school where instead of learning science and social studies, they learn how to persuade people with their words, or lexicons. I love language, obviously, loving the language of literacy. I think there's a bit of a mystery to it, and I love reading books that are more adultish, but in boarding school environments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Keep calm, read on, and if you have heard of these books, read any of these books, or ordered some Boxing Day books yourself, link me in the comments below. I'd love to watch/check out your blog posts about them. I hope you have a good day, or night, or morning, or whatever. Goodbye! Oh crap, oh my god, I hit myself in the eye.